Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's a Saturday morning. It's a bit cold out here, but we're not here to discuss the weather. We're here to talk about my new company car, which is right behind me. I took delivery of it a few days ago. I've had a bit of seat time and a nice bit of commute to work and a bit more, and this is the key. Let's go and introduce you to my Cupra Tavascan. Okay guys, this is my Cupra Tavascan. It's like a mid-sized SUV. I'll give you some highlights of this car. First of all, the color. This is called white silver, so it's like it's got some kind of like a grey tint in there anyway, but we'll talk a bit more about that. A very striking design for an EV. It's Cupra's like kind of second EV. So the first one was a Cupra Born, which is a bit more like a hatchback, and this is more of a SUV style. One thing that I do like about Cupra is their design language. Way better than any other VW product out there. Like these lights, for example, they've got so much style in them. And even for an EV, like the front end doesn't look too polarizing. You've got like some vintage going on down there because there is like a probably some kind of a cooler behind there. I like this grille design. So down here there's like a light here, so this all lights up all the way through there. I think they call this the coast to coast lighting, maybe, I don't know. But then here, if you look at the bonnet, you've got like air breathers, and they're actually open, so air kind of like flows through here and it comes out from there. You know, quite a nice thing to have on an SUV like that. The bonnet does look quite striking. Oh, another thing, this badge, it lights up. If I unlock the car, I think it will light up. Or it will at some point. I'll take another shot of that. You got these kind of claddings here, which is like a grey colour, as you can see from the front there and whatnot, and on the wing mirrors. It does have a lot of copper accents because of it being Cupra. So as part of Cupra, you get a lot of these kind of copper accents all over the wheels, the front grille as well, on the bottom. These are 21-inch alloy wheels, and the size of these tyres, they're a 255/40/21, so it's quite a low profile tyre. We'll talk more about that on the drive. You've got obviously a disc brake on the front. I don't know why the VW group do this, but they give you drum brakes on the rear, maybe because of like the regen braking. I like these door handles, they're flush. You don't need to pull them up. There's like a little electric button like that underneath, and it then kind of opens. A real nice design car. I do like it. I like the rear profile here again, like the roof line, it's quite swooping. You got this kind of like a lip spoiler. There's no point me putting one on because you already got one. And then you got the light bar on the back, which does some cool animations. I'll probably do like a light video at some point, but you've got like a dynamic kind of indicator, as you can see there. What you can do is you can just do that and the boot opens. It's quite a large boot. Obviously you've got the cables here. I think you can put your cables in that bag. This is something I didn't have on the Ford Explorer, an automatic boot. And most importantly, this has got a panoramic glass roof. I'm going to jump into the car now. What a place to be in this Cupra Tavascan. It is so refreshing being in it. Obviously you got the glass roof that you can see up there, lets in massive amount of light. I think it's a must have on any SUV. This car is packed. It is the V2 version, so you get a Cupra Tavascan V1, which doesn't come with many options. Then you add a trim called the V2, and you do get things like the pan roof, the 21-inch alloy wheels, a head-up display, ambient lighting, and probably quite a lot more things as well. I'll talk you through it. The first thing I want to show you is this steering wheel. I love this steering wheel. You've got a copper stitching going on. It's a flat bottom steering wheel. You got the Cupra logo there. You have got these haptic feedback buttons, and I'll be honest, they do work better than what I've found in other VW cars like my Golf GTI. These definitely work better, and you don't really snag on them. My hands are not massive, but if you got big hands, maybe they will probably snag or something, but I don't really have any issue. To be honest, I never really had any issue with the ones on the VW, but these just work a bit better. You might be wondering, what are these two buttons here? Well, this is your drive mode, so you can, without going through the main infotainment screen, you can actually just press this on the go, and you can flick through the different drive modes. So that's drive performance, then you got the Cupra mode, you got like an individual setting, and then the comfort one as well. You got something called range, which was the one below before that. That's obviously like a eco mode. And then on this side you got Cupra. So rather than going through all of those, this is your Cupra mode. Now when you press the Cupra mode, it goes into its full attack mode. The rest of the interior, again, you've got a lot of copper accents going off. It really brightens up the interior. A massive like copper trim that runs along the whole dash all the way across here. Fit and finish is pretty good. I like this kind of like a mesh design. It's quite nice. You got soft door tops here. This is like all VW products now. Even the Ford had it. I spoke about that in the last one. You've got aluminium pedals, and I like this design here. They call this the spine. It really puts the passenger in a different zone to the driver. It's quite nice. And then back down here you've got a wireless charging. You've got a couple of USB ports as well. These cup holders do look a bit small. I haven't really tested them out. But then you've got a massive kind of a cubby here. You can see that's my elbow down there, and it's pretty good. This infotainment system is better than, you know, the ones that you see in other VW products. It actually works. So, you know, you've got all of your tiles there and stuff. There's some functions in there which I find quite odd and awkward to kind of find where they should be, but you kind of get used to that. That's like your home screen, so your phone, your radio station, your whatnot, and then your maps are over there. Material otherwise is pretty good. Like even down here you've got like a nice kind of fake leatherette kind of cushioning, which is quite good. It's like most cars, like you'd get like a real nice kind of material at the top here, and then down the bottom it does become quite scratchy. I love the floor mats, even though there's a leaf down there. Actually has decent floor mats. It's got a Sennheiser sound system. I think it's got like 12 speakers or something. That driver's display is decent enough, and we've got flappy paddles. Bizarre for a electric car. Now these flappy paddles, they're to do with regen braking. So you press that one to increase the regen braking, and that's to decrease the regen braking. I'll be honest, I'm not even used it. I just left it in whatever mode it's in. So other features that this car's got are things like lane departure, all of those kind of safety features which are quite good. It's got a heated steering wheel. It doesn't have the winter pack, but it's got the heated steering wheel, which is a good thing. I've got heated front seats, and the passenger seat also has electric operations with memory, which is something that I didn't have on the Ford Explorer. Maybe if that was a higher trim, I probably would have got it, but it's nice to have the passenger seat with electric operation and memory function as well. You've got some cool like ambient lighting, which I'll go through. I'll probably do like a night vid or something like that on it much later at some point. And you've got a head-up display, which you can probably just see over there, which is quite clear as well. But just behind the wheel here, it's actually quite nice. So in terms of the motor, this is a rear wheel drive 77 kilowatt hour battery pack. So it's the same as what I had in the Ford Explorer. It has the same kind of running gear as well. It's a 1-speed thing, so it'll just accelerate up to its maximum speed in that gear. I think most electric cars tend to have that. But overall, it's like the same power. So it's 286 horsepower, 545 newton meters of torque. Being an electric car, it's instant. But we'll take you on the drive as well, and I'll compare this to my Ford Explorer that I had for about 3-4 months before this thing arrived. So I'll give you my first impressions of my Cupra Tavascan. So what is Cupra? Some of you may be asking or thinking. So Cupra is like an offshoot brand of Seat. It's their kind of sporting brand, and some car models within the Cupra brand, like this Tavascan, are only exclusive to Cupra. Like the Seat Leon, Cupra do like the Cupra Leon, I believe, as well, with like quite a bit of power or something. So this isn't like shared with like the other Seat cars. However, it is a VW underneath, so this is like a VW ID.5 or a Audi Q4, I think, like the Sportback. So the first thing that I noticed behind like the wheel of this Cupra is it's quite a direct car, if that makes any sense. Like the steering is quite direct for an EV. It doesn't feel as heavy as like some EVs that I've been in. It feels quite light. They do weigh like well over 2 tons, but because you've got that instant power of the motors, like, and that torque, it just goes down the road quite well. The one thing that I said about like the Ford Explorer was that with electric cars, because they have all that power and like that speed, they do feel quite cumbersome when you are approaching like a corner, and you can wash wide, and it's going to be the same with this as well. So but once you've like been behind the wheel of it for a while, you kind of understand how the car reacts. I do like the amount of airy space that you get in here, like with that pan roof and like these massive windows all the way around. It's just a nice place to be. So one thing that I can't get out of my head is the color combination. It's white on the outside, or white silver, and it's got this kind of like a bluey tone inside, and it so much reminds me of Japanese cars from the 1980s. So like my dad used to have like a Toyota Carina 2 or Mark II, and that was white with like a bluey interior, and this reminds me so much of that. Like even the dash, for example, has got that kind of like blue hue on it. But again, it adds to the appeal. Like I've not really had like a car with like a blue interior before, so there we are. Tavascan, the name, I can't help but it reminds me of a medical term, like my head's hurting and I need to take a Tavascan tablet, or my doctor's referred me for a Tavascan. I don't really know how to pronounce it. Is it Tavascan or Tavascan, or the Cupra? We'll call it the Cupra T. But behind the wheel here, it doesn't feel like a large car. Like to me, it's like the same size as like the Ford Explorer. I think when you just jump into this from a regular car and you kind of sit behind like the wheel here, it does feel quite massive. But the dimensions are not that big. You've got obviously like a 360 reversing camera on this. The resolution is quite low. If this was, I believe, if it was like an Audi, they probably would have put in like a nicer screen for that. But I think that's where Cupra are skimping on costs, or cutting their costs to get this into like say a budget. I say budget, this car, believe it or not, in this spec is about 56-57 grand on the road. Electric cars ain't cheap. Personally, I think this was the right choice of company car for me, because I'm going to be stuck with this for about 4 years, and 4 years is a long time. I mean, most of you that know me, I change my cars within 18 months, and probably even less than that at times. So 4 years to be with a car, it had to be right, and I think this is absolutely right for that, because I'll be doing like some long journeys in this, and it has to feel right. And you know, I've had it for about a week almost, and it is a very comfortable drive, is all I can say. And you have got the performance, which when the road opens up a bit, I have noticed that this makes quite a lot of noise, whereas the Ford Explorer didn't make much noise compared to this. You have got acoustic glass on the front as well, so to try and minimize some of that noise. The 21-inch alloy wheels, they look amazing because they fill the arches a bit better, but I think they do make more road noise as well because of that low profile tire. Again, 21-inch alloy wheels doesn't help. It at times does kind of crash over kind of undulations in the road. Having said that though, it does look fantastic, because without those wheels, I think the one on the lower model, I think the 19 inches, so you do get like a fatter tire, but I'd rather have something that looks aesthetically nice. I'm all about aesthetics. The power delivery in this is much smoother than what I found in the Ford. Bizarrely, it's the same motor, so I don't know why it's like set up a bit different, but in the Ford, like you prod the throttle and it will shoot, whereas this, maybe it's reserved for the Cupra mode. So I'm gonna go into Cupra mode now. Slow down a bit. Yep. And I'm out of Cupra mode now because this thing is flying. When I'm in flying, it flies. It's more like driver orientated, this car is, like, I feel, and even the performance, like you've got like these special buttons, they definitely want them to be pressed. Handling wise, yeah, there is body roll. I'm not going to say that there isn't, but it is more composed, I believe, in this car. I feel it's more composed, and I'm not just saying that because it's my first drive. I have actually tested this car out before as well. It definitely feels more composed, and I think that's where you are like investing in that Cupra brand for this car in a way. If you want like a driver's electric car, like an SUV type, and you don't want to go down the Porsche route for, like, say, the Macan, because that's very pricey, this makes quite a bit of sense. Like, I'm not gonna say it's flat around these kind of like bends or anything, but it definitely gives me more confidence in carrying that speed in these bends than the Ford Explorer did. It doesn't seem to be washing away as such. The brakes, I can't get comfortable with the brakes, especially in this one compared to the Explorer. In the Explorer they felt a little bit more natural, yet they were still like spongy. In this they feel more spongier compared to the Ford. Like, there is no natural feeling from the brake pedal. Like, you're pressing it and nothing seems to happen, and then it does something, and then it's like, yeah, it just doesn't feel natural. And maybe it's because it's only got like less than 200 miles on the clock, and they might need bedding in, but that needs to that needs to be confidence inspiring, which currently it isn't. So guys, I'm gonna wrap up here. I think I've given you my first impressions of my Cupra Tavascan. For me, I think personally it's the right choice of company car. It's a striking design. People do see this coming down the road and do look at it thinking, what is that coming down the road? Because you don't see many of these at the moment. I'm sure within a few months you'll see more of them. This car has been around for about a year, so yeah, you will see some on the road, but there are cheaper EVs out there, and I think from a company car point, people will opt for something like a Skoda Enyaq, which is the same kind of thing underneath as this, or they might go for a VW ID5. I just wanted the Cupra brand because it's one that I've never had before, so that's my experience with it. But overall, I do like it. It is performing as I expected it to perform. I'll do some long-term kind of reviews on this as well, in terms of, you know, how much miles you get out of like a full charge, but I believe it's going to be very similar to the Ford as well, because it's the same running gear and whatnot as that, or that was as this. So if you have enjoyed this vid, then give it a like, leave a comment in the comment section below, let me know what you think of my Cupra Tavascan, and hopefully guys, I shall see you on the next one. Take care, laters.